Hello, welcome to a new video. I've been trying out a lot of free flight, turning Flight Assist off and just trying out a different craft. Been reading quite a lot of flight inverted videos, some good guides on there. And it's teaching you some of the basics. I'm just copying and repeating some of this right now in my Vulture here. And you might think, well, it's a bit pointless, why are you flying around a station? But the good techniques just to learn how to sort of track and use your different vectors and your different thrusters, just to keep in sync with moving targets. And it's really good for just sort of showing how you fly around a station and just keep up with its rotation. There's a lot more advanced things I just cannot do myself, but I'm just showing this little video here of me flying around in my Vulture and just practicing a few things out. Now, what I'm going to lead into in this video really isn't with my Vulture, it's going to be with my ASP. Now, my ASP is primarily being used at the moment, or has been, for doing a lot of sort of delivery, a little bit of fighting, but really just in self-defense. What I thought might be really fun to try out really in the ASP is turning it into something else. So instead, beef up the shields, you remove some of the cargo and make it a little bit more of a multi-role. It is still a bit of a pig to fly. It doesn't rotate as well as my Vulture would do or any other craft. Obviously it's not a huge craft. It's not like a Python trying to fly it. And I don't have the money for a Python, so that's completely out the window. So I'm going to see how well I can do really in an ASP. This will give me the options, especially with some of the other missions, allowing me to do deliveries to play power play, bulletin board missions. Some things just come up which give you some cash. You want the opportunity to be able to do deliveries or do fighting or whatever comes your way. It's a bit irritating when you try and do this in a Vulture, but then you don't have the storage when something's really good on the bulletin board. So I'm going to try this out at the ASP. What I'm going to do is ditch my shield and get a Class 6 and turn it really into a bit of a fighter. At the same time, I'm trying some of the Flight Assist off. So here we are in an asteroid field. This is fairly basic. It's just me trying out a little bit really with the ASP and taking some of the things I'd learnt from trying it out in Vulture. I'm still a bit ropey on this, and there's a few things I could do a little bit better. I'm still in a bit of a habit of putting full pips to weapons, for instance, and really I should learn to do a little bit more with my power management and try out flicking between engines, flicking between weapons. So, not great big targets in this resource zone, but just picking here on a Cobra Mark III and just trying to turn with it, trying to keep it on track, trying to keep it in my gun sights. The worst thing you could have is more of a jousting fight where you just fly straight at something, turn very slowly, and if you just do flight assist turning without any other thrust or vectors being added,
target destroyed,
you end up jousting backwards and forwards. So I just destroyed that target.
Shields offline. Scan detected.
Here's another one, a bit trickier with Vipers. Always find Vipers like to fly off into the distance, turn and joust back at you. So the AI is coded up a bit to joust. And I'm really hoping with Flight Assist I can keep up with them, keep close to them, and do quite a lot of damage. Now before this, without using Flight Assist, there's a lot of turning, a lot of slow manoeuvres, going into the blue zone a lot with the thrust, just trying to get the turns. Things like Eagles just will out-turn you and out-fly you, and you're having to use Flight Assist anyway just to flick your craft around it. I always find it very hard fighting against Vipers with the speed though. So it's a bit more interesting to try with Flight Assist off. When using the cannons, I like to get into good range really with the cannons, so I'm not wasting any shots. And here I'm not using any cannons at all, just trying out a little bit there, but primarily using a lot of laser fire, taking down a lot of hull with the laser. I'm trying to concentrate on everything at the same time as well, so probably not entirely remembering what I need to do.
Target destroyed.
So no more laborious really than trying to do it with Flight Assist on. Now this was a real
Flight
challenge.
Assist off.
I got interdicted and I didn't think it would be something too tricky, so I submitted and then found that I was fighting against a vulture. I didn't check the target out, and it's a dangerous vulture as well. And I think this really proved to me the usefulness. If I had Flight Assist, I think I'd have really struggled here. But right now you can see they've got fixed lasers on it, and yes, it is making contact because I'm not brilliant yet and doing Flight Assist off, but I am avoiding quite a lot of those lasers, and I think I would have had those lasers contacting me a lot more, but I'm just keeping right now to the side and I'm thrusting up as well as turning just to sort of keep in a not really a loop, but keeping just to the side really of the vulture. Just trying to use my up thrust and forward reverse thrusting really just to keep them on target. And these shots here are absolutely lethal. Not my shots of course. My shots are just class 1s. Just really basic. So there's a lot of work to do here. Normally I'd be just turning and running. The ASP isn't a craft which would stand up very well to anything really above competent when it comes to Vulture. Okay, so it doesn't go particularly well. We've had quite a lot of shields taken down. Use a bit of boosting. And I've let me get a bit of distance really on me now. So the whole trick is to make sure you keep as much forward speed as possible if you're trying to keep close into target, not turn and lose a lot of speed, as this is where the distance between you and the target can cause a big disadvantage, especially in a case like this. And what I should be remembering to do, and something to take into the future really, is make sure you also use your boost on those up thrusts, and that'll give you a bit more turning. So I'm starting to use the boost here on the forward thrusting. It's getting me out of the way of those lasers, but not putting me in a great position, giving me a lot of distance. Now I am sort of panicking a little bit because it's taking the shields out. We're jousting quite a bit here, but if I keep the up thrusting, the upward thrusts here, I can stay fairly close. Right, I've had his shields down, so just give him the guns. That's the medium and the small hard points firing. I'd have loved a bit more, a couple of more medium points really on the ASP. I think that would have really made it a formidable fight. Of course, it is a bit of a big ship, and it's got a hybrid role. It's got a scout role actually, and it's got an ability to haul some cargo. But those guns really are really useful just in self-defense and to get yourself out of there, which is what I'm trying to do at the moment. I think if I run, I'm going to get more of those beam lasers straight through my ship. Trying to minimise the amount he gets his guns onto me. Of course, the Vulture's going to be able to turn a lot more onto me. So I'm losing hull, but it's not too bad at the moment. I wanted to show a lot more of this video unedited because I think this really shows the strength of using Flight Assist Off. I had a lot of other fights in the asteroid fields with smaller targets, and it's a bit easier to take them down. So this is when you need something really challenging. Obviously, human play would be more challenging. I don't think I'd survive at all if that was a human play.
Target shields online.
Kiss my shields again with his beams. It's curtains again for my shields.
Taking damage.
I need to get his shields off again. So you can recharge quite quickly as well. My class 1s are just not going to get through.
Target
And when they do
shields
get
offline.
through, they're not doing a lot. It's my window now to actually take down a lot of his hull. Try a bit more desperate boosting. You have to put a lot more into the engines if you want to use the boosts a lot more. Since I'm not really getting my guns onto them all the time, it's not really worth putting full pips onto weapons anyway. And I really do need to keep something on the shields. Not quite close enough yet for me to use my guns. I'd like to use them much, much closer. The distance seems to be an advantage for me here as well. I think the distance here stopped them locking on so much with those fixed beams. Although those fixed beams are dangerous when they're really close on. Fixed weapons do a lot more damage than the gimbal. Although happy to be corrected on that, I think that's correct.
Target shields.
Shields are back
online.
up again, so there's a bit more work to do now just to take off that inner ring of his shields. Seems to recharge those up quite quickly, the shields. We've got a second ring around them. Not quite sure if the AI uses shield boosters. I'm sure it would suck a lot if they did. As much as at least human players are going to use them. As much as I would. It'd be infuriating. Almost take the shields down and then they boost back up.
Shields online.
So I'm back online as well. So that shows managed to survive a little bit longer. I think they'll get cut down very quickly with those lasers. Obviously a bit of reflective armouring or something like that would really help, but it would increase the weight so much that the ASP jump range just wouldn't be an advantage anymore for me. That would be a pure fighter setup, and I'm really just trying to keep it as a hybrid still. So the shields are good. They'll keep out quite a lot of damage from most ships, of course, not from
Target
something like this.
shields offline.
And the weapons get there in the end. So he's on 11%, which is good. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone there with the guns. Taking down his hull though. And there you go.
Target destroyed.
So I just wanted to show that. I know that was a bit long, but it shows an ASP there can actually face up and do the stuff against a tougher ship. Albeit that was an AI ship, but most of the time that's what we're coming across and fighting. So I'm quite confident now that this ASP is going to do the job for me.
Flight assist on.
And Flight Assist Off really is also doing the job, and I'm starting to play that a lot more now. I actually don't feel very comfortable playing with Flight Assist on. It feels very slow and very clunky. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.
3, 2, 1, engage.